How's it going, everybody? It's Marc, Leclair, and Brody Butchart here. We're here to talk about whether or not entrepreneurship is right for you and some steps you can take to explore this opportunity. But first, what is an entrepreneur? Merriam-Webster Dictionary describes it as one who organizes, manages, and assumes the risk of a business or enterprise. But that's not the whole story. What entrepreneurship means to me is it's the opportunity for every individual to demonstrate their passion, persistence, their hard work, and their ability to think differently, and freedom to create something truly unique. I'll hand it over to Brody, who will define what it means to him.
So, to me, entrepreneurship means a lot of different things. A lot of different adjectives come to mind when I think about entrepreneurship. In order to be an entrepreneur, I think you need to be creative, innovative, self-motivated, confident, and you need to be a risk taker. So I say creative and innovative because entrepreneurs, they are problem solvers. They're constantly trying to find solutions to other people's problems, and in order to do so, you need to be creative and you need to be innovative. I say you need to be self-motivated, confident, and risk taker because oftentimes you are taking your time and money and you're investing it into projects that you believe in. So you need to have confidence in yourself, you need to use your spare time, and you need to take that risk. So one of my favorite quotes from Steve Jobs, I think sums up being an entrepreneur really well, and that quote is, the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. So now I'll tell you about a bit of my experience with being an entrepreneur. As a kid, I was doing different tasks around the neighborhood before I could work legally, just to make a few extra dollars, whether it was mowing lawns or shoveling sidewalks or organizing people's recycling so that I could go take the empty cans to the bottle depot. Then once I got a bit older, I started doing things such as building websites and social media pages, and I found a bit of success with that. And so those kind of projects that I did in my spare time helped me get to the job where I'm at now, which is at a marketing agency, and they got me to work on a startup project which is called Rocketship. And Rocketship is a website for students that helps them find scholarships and internships and other great opportunities. So I was very fortunate to be working on that project from the very beginning, from the point where it was just an idea.
Very cool. Similar to Brody, I got a very early start as an entrepreneur. Live out in the suburbs, have for my entire life. The ice cream man, favorite of every child, didn't come out to the far boonies as often as I would have preferred, particularly as a fat little 4-year-old. So I took the onus upon myself to fix this problem for all of the other neighborhood kids. Turned my radio flyer wagon into my little ice cream truck, and I would go out on the days when the ice cream man wasn't available. Moving into high school, I did 3 years of junior achievement, which is a great organization. Basically takes you through the process of generating an idea, working with the team, electing executives, raising capital, you buy a share in your own company, and then over 16 weeks, you and your team work towards designing, building, and selling whatever product or service it is that you guys have defined for yourselves. Great experience, had 2 successful ones and 1 really unsuccessful one. It's funny, you learn a lot more from the failures than you do from the successes. After my short little stint at the University of Calgary, I had the great opportunity to work with a company called Get Queued. If you guys frequent any of the nightclubs, you may have heard of us. Basically, it was a smartphone application that allowed you to not stand in line for bar bars, restaurants, and nightclubs. So it's their sales and marketing guy, and we got Cowboys and Ranchmans and a couple bars up in Edmonton on board. Brought in an advisor and some startup capital and some working capital as well. Great experience. They're featured as the startup of the week in the Calgary Herald right around New Year's of 2012. And my other business is Dapper Detailing Car Concierge. So basically, I take care of high-end vehicles in and around the city for a bunch of fairly discerning clients. I describe my job as the world's most intensive car wash, and we keep all sorts of very pretty and expensive vehicles looking their best, and the service as convenient as possible for the customer. So we're entering our 5th year of business, and it's been a bit of a bumpy ride, but I think we've sort of figured it out now. So, talk a little bit about learning experiences. So, success is not final, failure is not fatal, it is the courage to continue that counts. Winston Churchill, great man, and some good words to live by. Just keep on trucking. So, benefits of being an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship provides rewards for taking risks. You put your time and effort in, and you put out that product or service, and you hope that somebody buys it. And if they do, then I think you sort of made it, or at least you're on your way there. Provides a consistent push. You gotta keep moving, and you're gonna have to do some things that you don't quite understand, you don't quite know, but you'll figure it out along the way. So stepping outside your comfort zone, good for everybody. And the opportunity to change the world around you. I think a lot of the general population is a little bit stifled. You get up in the morning, you have your coffee, and you say hello to your wife and kids, and you hop in your average car and you drive to your corporate job for your 8 hours, and then you come home and you watch television, and then you pass out and repeat the process. Maybe you go skiing, maybe you have a hobby, good for you. I'd rather spend my free time socializing and working on my projects. The opportunity to solve problems. Everyone here has a smartphone, correct? Basically anything that is innovative and new was driven by the mind of an entrepreneur. We're not going to corner or pigeonhole that definition strictly to people starting their own businesses. It's innovators, and so you can be innovative and in an organization as well. Call you a bit of an entrepreneur. Help people. As silly as it sounds, I help people to make sure that their cars look good and that they last them for a very long time. Steve Jobs. You have an iPhone, you have an iPhone, I have an iPhone, you have an iPhone. The whole world at your fingertips, in your pocket. What a crazy goal. But managed to make it work and managed to make it popular. So, creating something amazing. Obviously, there's some detriments to being an entrepreneur as well. Entrepreneurship really isn't for everyone. You're going to have to expect those difficult customers, some people pushing back, saying that's not going to work, self-doubt, going, crap, maybe they're right, but you got to learn how to push through. You're going to have to wear several different job titles. You're not just the marketing guy, you're not just the sales guy, you're not just HR, you're not just the boss, you're all of those people at once. So if you can't handle that multitasking, a little bit of juggling may not be for you. And obviously, responsibility for your own paycheck, which is good for some, not so good for others. It can be a little bit inconsistent, but I think it's well worth it. So, you're in the right place. Mount Royal has a fantastic Institute for Innovation and Entrepreneurship, which provides MRU students with the resources, guidance, education, and connections that they need to get started on the right foot. And Brody, why don't you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, definitely. So I'll elaborate on that. So the Institute of Innovation and Entrepreneurship at Mount Royal, one of the great things about it is that they have so much money to give away. So the past couple of years and this year as well. They have this JMH Launchpad where they give away $50,000 to students who have innovative business ideas that they want to pursue. So if you have an idea for a business, you can go up to a panel of judges, pitch your idea, and if they like it, they can get you up to $10,000 for you to pursue your idea. And there's not that many people applying, so your chances are really good. There's another $3,000 scholarship granted to people who have their small businesses. Like Marc, he applied for this scholarship. Earlier in the year, there was an I Am an Entrepreneur $3,000 video contest. I applied for the contest, and there was actually only 3 people in total who applied to the contest, and I still didn't win, but that's okay. Anytime I have a 1 in 3 chance of winning $3,000, I will always put in the effort to apply. So definitely one of the reasons why you should take an entrepreneurship course at Mount Royal is that a lot of the classes fill your gen ed requirements. So if you want to write down any of these classes, feel free to. They fill multiple tiers in the community and society cluster, as well as the tier 3 in the communication cluster. And the great thing about a lot of these classes is that you don't need a prerequisite for them, so you don't need to have all these other entrepreneurship courses before taking them. You can take a tier 3 communication class, and you don't need to have any prerequisites. And lastly, the good thing about these entrepreneurship courses is that they're some of the only courses at Mount Royal that are offered in the block week format. So I took this Entrepreneurship 4332 Venture to Launch before the fall semester, and so I completed that within a matter of days. It was actually 2 weekends. They're supposed to be 8-hour-long days, but they only turned out to be 5 hours every day. So yeah, within 5 days I had completed the class, and this Entrepreneurship 3370, I'm planning on taking it in the spring semester, and it's also a block week course. You do not need a prerequisite, so if any of you are interested, please take the class with me. It should be an exciting class. So if you guys have an idea for a business, we highly suggest that you take an entrepreneurship course. There's plenty of resources to help you develop your idea and actually get the wheels into motion so you can see it become a reality. Or if you'd like to speak with either me and Marc, we would love to talk to you about it a bit more and see where we can take your idea. All right, thank you guys for your time.